This is Kathy Beatty with Divorce Support Anonymous. Thank you for joining me tonight, Friday night, where I step into your life and give you tools and hope and support and help you make some rough decisions. And tonight's topic is certainly one that's going to be a rough decision to make. Do I divorce or do I stay together with the kids? Now, ultimately, let me just say that every decision in divorce is yours to make. It's always best that you get counsel, that you get help and support as you make these decisions. But this decision, should I divorce or stay together with the kids, is one that only you can make because you understand what the issues are of the marriage. So research shows, and I did a little digging on the research of short term. Yes, the children need that stability. If they have stability in the home, they need the predictability. This is for their emotional well-being. And divorce is very much an upheaval. It is chaotic, destabilizing, all of those things. But in the long term, sometimes divorce can produce happier outcomes. Interesting to note. So I have 4 points tonight that I'm going to discuss with you. And first of all, what are the issues of the marriage? What's going on with the marriage? And I would seriously recommend, if you're not working as a pastor or a therapist or a trained professional in this, if you happen to have, you're so fortunate to have a really smart friend who can work through this with you, that's great. But don't do it alone. That's one of my mottos. Don't go through this alone. So you need to outline what are the issues of this marriage. And I want to refer to my friend Leslie Vernick, who says there are destructive marriages, there are disappointing marriages, and then there are, there's another D, and I'm blanking on it. It'll come to me. So there are 3 types of marriages. Some, it's possible to stay in and stay well, she states, but some are destructive. And a destructive marriage that is harmful to you is certainly harmful to the children. They're very perceptive. They know what's going on. Regardless of how much we hide it or how well we hide it, eventually they're figuring it out. So if we want to live honestly, we either need to get help for the situation in the marriage, or we need to make some honest decisions for the marriage. So what are those issues? Can you outline them? Can you draw them out? And you may say, well, I'm just not happy. Well, we want to funnel down to what exactly does that mean that you're not really happy? What's going on here? Is this a marriage or is this an issue that you have that needs to be resolved? So it's really important that we get clarity. What are the issues of the marriage? And then the next question is, what are you teaching your children about marriage? If you are staying in an abusive marriage, then you are illustrating to your children what a marriage is. That's frightening in some situations, that you are illustrating what a marriage is for your children to imitate. They won't know any better. They won't know how to have a great marriage if they come from parents who have a very poor marriage. They're going to have their own work to do. And so I ask that of many people that I work with who are trying to make the decision, should I divorce or should I just stick it out and stay in the marriage? My question is, what are you teaching them about the marriage? And are you teaching them bad things about marriage? Misconceptions about marriage, that this is an example of marriage. Is that what you're teaching them? I don't know if that's a marriage that you want to stay in. What are you teaching your children about marriage? And then I must say that really what matters here is how you're going to handle this divorce. So, research shows that if you can co parent well, your children are going to make it through this divorce. If you are not co parenting well and you are involving the children in this adult situation, which I don't care if they're teens, I don't care if they're grown adults, they can't handle. So, don't do it. But if you can handle this divorce civilly, amicably, and I will tell you, so many people start out with an amicable divorce, but it doesn't stay that way because things get tough. Things get hard. Choices. There are hard choices to make. But the real issue, whether your children are going to make it through this divorce, is how you're going to handle it. Will you be that constant, healthy adult for them through this? Will you take them into your arms and say, honey, you don't need to worry about this. You just need to worry about being a kid and doing your homework. This is between mom and dad. If you can do that, your kids are going to make it through the divorce. But how often have I seen the parent, one parent, who's going to drag these kids through it all, through all the mud, through all the nastiness, through all the chaos, because they want to use the children to hurt the other parent. Oh, that's the hardest part for me in doing this work, whether it's in mediation or in coaching or in support group, is hearing these stories of these emotionally immature parents who drag their children through this to their harm. But if you can handle your divorce civilly, maturely, I'm not saying it's not going to be easy, that it's going to be easy and that it won't be hard. It will be hard. But if you can handle that, your children are going to make it through your divorce. This is a quote from Parents Magazine that I think is worthy of quoting. Ultimately, the bottom line is this: unhappy parents do not raise happy children. And unhealthy relationships that stay together for the kids when the marriage is destructive produce children who have unhealthy relationships as adults. Wow, we don't want to do that to our kids. We don't want to do this. We want to provide the best, honest, healthy, loving situation for our children to grow and to flourish. And a miserable marriage, especially if it's an abusive marriage, it's not good for those kids. I don't care how you try to paint it. It's not good for the kids. So, of course, I want to share with you some scriptures that are that solid rock to hold on to. And one of them is this in Isaiah: you, God, will keep in perfect peace all who trust in him, all those whose thoughts are fixed on you. So that verse says, if you're going to keep your eyes on God through this, if you understand and you do the spiritual struggle of why you're going through this divorce, and you keep your eyes on him, you'll have perfect peace. Wow, that's a big claim, because divorce is anything but peaceful. But if you can keep your eyes on him, you will get through it. I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I'll counsel you with my loving eye on you, even through divorce. And the next is really a teaching verse that plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. That's why I always ask the folks that I work with, is your network of experts that you're going to get the information from that's going to allow you to make the right decisions. So, should you divorce or should you stay for the children? It really depends on the issues of the marriage. What are the issues of the marriage? Again, write them down, and also write down, how do these issues of the marriage affect the children? how do they affect them? And then what are you teaching them about marriage as you are living together in this possibly unhealthy manner? Fourthly, how you handle the divorce. That's what makes all the difference with those kids. So I hope this has been of help. Ultimately, it is your decision that no one can make for you. But don't do it alone. Get your advisors, get your counsel, so that you can make the right decision for you. This is Kathy Beatty with Divorce Support Anonymous, walking with you every step of the way through the trauma and after the trauma of divorce. Thank you for being here with us this evening.